exciting. Oh, guess what, guys?
It's another burn.
It's another burn.
That's some magic.
Let's go.
That's good. I think I saw some seizure.
All right. So Lyle's back, guys. The end boss, as the stream was calling him earlier tonight. And Ben is back. Ben is our burn player here. He is. We saw him lose to Infinity. Nope.
He rallied back, right?
He rallied back up after losing to Infinity and
same burn list. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't changed.
Hasn't
changed since.
That's true. It's not a new burn player. It's not a new burn list. It's still the same burn it was earlier. And the Abzan. We saw the Abzan list stomp over a player stumbling with lands.
Yep.
Is really what happened. We got some good plays in here and there. Did some good damage, but it really was kind of stumbling with lands. Lyle just had what he needed.
Value creatures.
He does have lifelink in there with Shambling Vents. I don't know if he's running like a One of Thorn or anything like that. I'm assuming he's got some Siege Rhinos in there.
Oh, for
because
sure.
it's Abzan.
Scavenging
right?
Ooze.
Scoos. Okay, we did see
Scavenging
Scoos. Maybe he's got at least one Siege Rhino. I don't know how much Rhinos people are running anymore because I haven't seen as many Abzan lists lately. I've seen so many more Jund lists.
Yeah.
All right, so the cut's coming up. Doing a little. Oh. BM player knocking his cards over. No, in all seriousness, we're doing a roll-off here, getting things started. I still feel like the Abzan player is better positioned. We did get to see where he's just like, all right, here's my Goyf. You can't get through this.
Right.
And now I can sit back with my Goyf on D, and then here's my Lingering Souls. I'm just going to poke away.
Same thing. Targeted removal. Mm-hmm. You can't stop 4 Lingering Souls.
And we've got a Disfigure in hand for Lyle, because main board Disfigure.
He loves it.
Make all the players cry. Alright, looks like Lyle's fetching and shocking. I'm calling it. It's a shock.
You think so?
I think so. Fetch shock.
Inquisition of Kozilek.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he knows that he's playing against Burn. See, I would hold back my hand for just a little bit,
just to kind of see what
he's
going to
see, because right. Like boom, you see the burn, and if he didn't know before, he knows now and goes, "Oh, okay, I'm going for basic."
That's a good point.
That's just the slight, just if he's playing, all right, I'm leading with an Inquisition, but maybe he said verbally, "I'm just going to swamp or whatever."
Right.
Here's my Inquisition. But if he didn't say, he just says fetch. Inquisition.
Hold it back.
Hold it back and say, okay, cool, can I see what land you're going to get?
Let's just get that bolt out of here.
We did see some Boros Charms. I didn't pay enough attention to the other red spells that are in hand. But it looks like Swift Spear.
Hey, there was a Swift Spear.
There was a Swift Spear.
This is going to come at you for 1.
18. Windswept. Oh, there it is, that Disfigure. Main board Disfigure. Good card. I don't feel like he'll have much else that he'll want to do. I lied. He's going to fetch. Well, it's hard to say if he's got another Inquisition or something like that. But he clearly is deciding on the fetching and on how he wants to play with his hand the next couple of turns. There's the basic forest. Okay, so just kind of setting himself up here, being in a good position. Noble. I do like me some Noble. Well, probably one of my favorite cards.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Exalted Trigger, you tap for mana.
I mean, it's pretty nice. It taps for white mana.
It does.
Which you can use to cast...
Apostle's Blessing.
No, Path to Exile.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I guess your white card is better than my white card, Unblockable's pretty good. Pro White's pretty good. Then your path doesn't work.
I'm gonna say let's catch up with Lyle and see if he plays paths.
Well, yeah, that is true. He does play some paths. All right, so we've got a Stomping Ground, fetch into a shock.
Says here's my Nakatl and my Grim Lavamancer.
Okay. I like the Lavamancer because that at least threatens next turn he can start killing off. Ghost Quarter pops out.
Oh.
What's that?
Is that a path? I think that may be a path.
It is. And there's a Siege Rhino.
Yep.
So he can play Siege Rhino now. And it looks like that's what he's debating. I like that idea. Puts a big threat on board. He'll probably lose the Noble next turn, and I don't know if he has another land.
But does he play it now because he's losing that white source?
I think he does play it now. You put a big threat on board he can't run into, and you know you're going to lose the Noble anyway. Oh no, okay. So he feels alright, I can keep it. What else does he have in hand though? Does he have a Goyf in hand?
Yes.
He does. Okay.
Yep,
All right. So
there it is.
I'm fine with that play. Seeing that he has a Goyf, keeping his Noble alive, so he could be able to
land instant
sorcery. So 4.
A standard 4/5.
Standard. It's turn 3. You'd expect it to be a 4 or 5 by turn. No, I mean 3, 4, 4, 5 is usually where you're going to be seeing those Goyfs. All right. A 2/2 Nakano versus 4/5 Goyf. Not a very good match. And that could easily become a 1/1. Lyle only deploys Goyfs at 4/5. Now I do have to say, playing the Junless on the Gauntlet, it's nice having the seal in there, that extra enchantment. And I do know that Lyle was testing out running the Oath of Nissa. 1 cost green there, and it's legendary, so you can be able to get that into your graveyard if you play a second one. So just a little fun fact of making those Goyfs a little stronger.
Hopefully he's not watching as we spoil
Oh,
everything
no.
in his deck. Smart play, though.
Smart. Alright, let's see. Got to fetch lands, throws down the Swift Spear, and just passes. Okay. Alright.
He's a little bit more worried about his life total.
Alright, so sitting here, trying to get an idea. I don't know how many cards Ben has in hand currently. But where the creatures are, further back on the map, we can see it better.
Sure.
We can see the cards better. Even Lyle's that are right up in your face.
Yeah, he's
it seems
he's
just
pretty close to Ben's side.
He says, you know what? Maybe if I just start moving them onto your side of the board.
Oh.
But I think right in line where that deck is the no card zone.
He just said, "Let me show you an exalted Tarmogoyf, and then I'm gonna slam my
5
Siege
to
Rhino."
the face and 3 from the Siege Rhino, so 8.
Oh no, yeah.
So he drops a 9.
Yep.
He's at 17. He takes 8 this turn if he didn't take anything, or if he didn't block anything.
Yeah. And then Lyle actually goes back up to 20.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. We see also Ben go to 8 because he fetched on the end step there.
Lyle seems to be handling himself pretty well against Burn.
Yeah. Siege Rhino is a great card to have against Burn. Again, that Goyf being a 4/5 is really
helpful.
Really helpful because their creatures aren't going to get through unless they use a bunch of stuff to help them out.
Right.
I wonder is no, the regular Naya Burn list aren't running Abbott, are they?
I don't think so, and I think it kind of goes with what we saw in the first round, where it's just not a strong turn 2 play, where you want to be pushing for a little bit extra damage because he doesn't have haste.
Right. Oh, that's true.
And turn 2 is not where you want to play him. So turn 3, and then you're sacrificing at least 2, and that's 6 damage.
Second Noble. And so with the second noble, he's like, all right, I'll keep Goyf on D, and now I'm going to swing 6 at you. All right.
And he says,
Boros
block
Charm.
That's you choosing the indestructible mode? Yeah, indestructible.
Okay. 4 to face, I'm assuming.
This is
Abrupt.
decay.
All right, so trigger, that's only 3 toughness.
So we have 3 of it.
Um,
And it's dealing 6. Which,
so he'll take 3. 3 toughness. Siege Rhino's a 6.
Puts him to 5.
Mm-hmm. All right, another Nakano off the top. But again, like swinging in with the Siege Rhino is probably the choice here. Now, what are your thoughts? Again, we don't know how many cards he has in hand. And if he has nothing in hand, I don't mind swinging in with both. Even so, like he has to block. So he does have something in hand. Another
Boros.
Boros Charm.
stack it first. Okay. He'll take 4. Yeah. Go to 1.
But 4 from Goyf. Okay, this time he goes for double strike? Or did he go double strike last time? Okay, I was wondering when he was going to Ghost Quarter. Having the nobles, he can afford to do that,
Right.
and it shuts him off of, his white. So it shrinks down the Connell.
Yep. Smart play.
All right, so people are discussing about the life padding cards, stuff that gave you a little bit extra life. Like we talked about the scavenging ooze. That we've got the shambling vents in there, siege rhinos, kitchen finks is a possibility
Yep.
here. So a lot of stuff that the burn players just don't want to see. And that's going to do it for game 1.
Dealing damage.
The double Goyf on board
Can't even kill myself.
puts on a tough position for our Naya burn player to be in. Having our Abzan player up now 1-0.
Now I'm curious.
That was killing myself. Was
We have decided that when we're playing Burn, and this is some secret deck tech for everybody that decides, they end up playing Infect, that we're running Pulse of Marasa.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Is he running that? Or is 3 mana just not what he wants to see? Does he not want to see Pulse?
I don't think the Pulse really is gonna factor too much into it.
Getting a Tarmogoyf, though.
Yeah, but most of the time your Goyfs are not going to be dying.
Oh, fair point.
Is the only thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So for those that aren't familiar, those are Pulse.
Very nice.
Production for you guys.
Ta-da.
Return target creature or land you control from the graveyard to its owner's hand. You gain 6 life. So that's what we're starting to run in our Infect list because, if we're playing against the Burn, if we're playing against the Zoo, we get to get 6 life back, helps us out, and we get, one of our creatures, Ink Moth back, Spellskites, to be super rude. So we've got some value out of it. So I don't think that the Abzan players care as much about it.
I think it kind of goes back to what was said in the chat earlier. Lyle's just a seasoned junk player, so he's got it down to
feed the
clan.
clan.
That's a pretty good one.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of he knows exactly what he's pulling out
True.
and what he's putting in. He's that
faced this
comfortable.
matchup before. He knows, all right, these cards aren't going to help me at all. What can I be able to use?
Lone Missionary.
Now, I'm a big fan of anytime that I'm running white to run Core Firewalker.
Sure.
But, that's just because he's a good card. Pro Red's pretty sweet. Whenever they play a red spell, you gain life. He works out even better if you're playing like a Mardu list.
Yeah.
like Mardu Pox, for example, because
You've got some red yourself.
You've got red yourself. All right, so game 2, Naya burn list. They're gonna bring in Deflecting Palms.
It's a good point. Cutting out the Thought Seizes seems like a pretty good play.
Easy cut, number 1 there. Get rid of the Thought Seize, yeah. Because you know the extra 2 life you're going to pay for it is not necessarily going to be worth it. Inquisition's great. You can keep that in there. Because, again, their mana cost is not really going above 3. I don't know burn lists that are running anything above 3 currently. Yeah, even like the budget mono red creature versions, none of their stuff is above 3.
No.
So, and that's the thing. Like, if you want to run a budget version of burn, you can, and then start slowly picking up the pieces. But a big thing, if you're looking to get into modern, start with mana bases.
That seems to be where the money is.
It is. All right. Well, so like, but the way I see it is like, if you're gonna go into modern and you want some flexibility, and you're like, oh, I like a bunch of different decks, and I'm not really sure where I want to start. You know, buy some of the mana base. Whether it's just the shock lands,
Yeah.
you know, or just go into and pick up the fetch lands from standard right now. Whether it's, you know, like the Windswept Heath seems to go in like every deck.
It seems to.
You can pretty much get away with running that in almost any deck. So I'd say, you know, pick those up first if you're going to start getting into it. Or if you're like, you don't have the money to spend on a land or something like that. Fish is a decent deck to get into. It's relatively cheap. The vials are a little bit expensive. Cavern of Souls is worth it, but the Eldrazi lists have also helped spike it up again. So you don't really have to don't worry so much about the vial or the not the vials, the caverns.
You need the vials.
You'll need the vials, and that helps factor in if you're like, you know what, I love tribal decks, I'll do something like that. You know, you could also just be like, all right, I'm gonna make L's. That's not a super expensive list. And yeah, so the Cons ones are a great pickup right now, right before they rotate too, because they're still in standard. You're still seeing a lot of play. Once they rotate, they're going to go up in price. So be aware of that. So I'd say, you know, pick up those cards that you'll see a lot of in different decks. All right, so starting things off, Naya Burn, Fetch and Shock, bam, 17. And is that a Swift Spirit or a Guide?
That looks like a Swift Spirit to me.
Alright, I'm going to trust you. Marsh Flats pass. See, look. Oh, it is. You're right. Swift Spear. Now, if it was just a little further back, no fly zone right there on the Goblin's hand. A little further back. Bring it to the lantern.
There's two of them now.
But no land. So that means no extra prowess triggers. But threats on board are pretty good.
We're gonna fetch now, and he kept his 7.
He did.
And so he had a plan going into this.
Ooh, Zealous. You see that?
Oh yeah.
That's a trickery.
That's a good card.
All right, Temple. Nice slow start right now.
Main deck, he says. Lava Spike coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
13 and then Abrupt
Abrupt.
Decay.
All right, so triggered. We'll still take 5 that turn. And pass it, but we still see a 1-lander. Interesting enough. All right. Ooh, here's a Goyf.
The fun
And
police.
1, 2, 3. No, lava spike.
Yep.
So 4. He's a 4/5. Creature,
Yep,
instant,
hey.
sorcery, land.
4/5.
That's what
Old
TJ
faithful.
was saying. Only Lyle's Goyfs are 4/5s. They are never anything lower. You'll never see a 2/3 Goyf come out. Or a 1/2.
Told ya.
Alright. Oh, path!
He says I'm gonna.
Guess what?
Path
I'm
that
running
guy.
white. You look like you could use some lands. Trigger. Response. Get a land. And no land for our bird player again. But 2 coming to the face.
Uh,
That path was nice though. Very nice time.
that 2 damage is confirmed. And is that our hissing quagmire that just came out?
Last turn it did, yes. That
Okay.
allowed him to play his Goyf. So he has not played a land yet this turn, and tap land. Can't tell. Looks like a temple. Choosing not to pay the 2 because he's already at 9.
Right.
Ooh. Is he going? Does he have a lily? I mean, he's sitting there with 3 lands that he's like debating over tapping at this point.
He's trying to.
Okay, so tapping got 2 right now. Another Goyf. Okay. Does he have a path?
Right. I think that was
Oh,
a starting wildwood.
You can see now. It is. On top of the art. Suspended Riftbolt. Trigger. No land.
No lands.
Still passes back. That's tough.
And
But-
that kind of goes back to the first round again, where
Yes,
it
yes.
seems like Lyle just scares the burn players' lands away.
Yeah. That is true. Oh. Urborg. Looks like everybody could use some swamps.
Is that 2 paths in his hand?
Oh, is that what the...
Oh yeah! Wow.
Now, the thing is, though... Oh, did he just...
I think he's still thinking.
Okay, I was like, he didn't just pass, no. He's got a lily in there. Play the lily. Sack a creature. Swing in. Because worst case, if Lily dies, that just makes the Goyf bigger.
True.
And it gets his threat off board.
He's thinking about how he wants.
He's
to
also
sequence this
so he
out.
also has the option of like activating his land.
He's gonna attack first.
Okay. He knows he can just sneak it in.
He's gonna say that's a 4. And then
Scoos.
he's decided with the scavenging ooze is his play.
All right, and we don't have any creatures in the graveyard at this point. Okay, now this also. Yeah, it's like this. This triggered. Bolt comes at him, kills off the Scoos. So now we have a 2/3, but easily path.
True.
You can make him as tough as you want. It won't matter. Still no land.
Nope.
Guide
But he's got a guide.
and triggered.
And that's a sea triangle on top.
Siege Rhino. Activate.
Okay.
Blocks the guide.
He's gonna say let's go ahead and get the guide out of here.
Oh. Okay. Helps him give him a land. Go ahead, get a land. All right, I like that play. So decided, didn't want to play the Lily earlier because he was playing it safe, so he could be able to block and path.
And now everyone knows. There he is.
The Rhino. 3 more. Switching up our life totals now. And this is that whole big tempo swing that we're seeing. Like, where now the burn players, like, nothing on board. All their creatures and stuff have been killed off.
Right.
They're in that top deck mode again. Yes, Ben does have some cards in hand. But he's already used one of his paths. Got Rhino, Goyf on board. Like, this is not looking good. Deflecting palm.
Right. Path off the top. Something. He just says pass.
Animate.
He wants
swing.
it. He wants it.
He says,
What do you got?
Got it. Do you have it?
You just activated Wildwood. I forgot about Wildwood.
Maybe he's worried about a lightning helix. Something to get a little life back.
Deflecting. There it
There it
was,
is.
but not enough.
Extends the hand, and that's it.
So, GG. Abzan player takes it. Nice series. 2-0s are Burn. Bad night for Burn.
It was. It was.
Or good night for everybody else, depending on if you're a Burn player or not.
Well, I think the thing is we saw
Actually,
3 burn lists that we were able to put up for everybody tonight.
yes.
Okay. Was there 4 total? Or was it just 3?
There was, I think, only 3.
Okay.
So we got to see all the different Burn players play. But you were also running your
No.
Delver list. Yours wasn't Burn, though.
Delver.
So we had Delver Prowess, essentially.
Right.
We had Delver Burn,
Right.
which basically was Delver and the Abbott and Swift Spear and
Storm
Storm
Chaser.
Chaser and all burn spells,
Right.
like Helix and Bolts and Rift Bolts and everything. It had everything in there. Well, yours is very different from that.
Yeah.
Naya Burn. We had 2 Naya Burn lists, TJ's and Ben's.
Right.
Oh, see, look, Ben's saying, I think the camera was cursed when all my matches off camera.
There you go.
So that's that does.
We can blame the
factor into
camera.
it.
That's fine.
And maybe it did have a factor in, because I know what, like, for events, players might get more nervous. It used to be like that happened all the time at, like, for esports tournaments. Players would sit there and they do really well on online events, and then as soon as it goes to an offline event where they're sitting there in front of a camera or in front of people, that's when they get extra nervous and they might make
Sure.
more
Sure, I can
mistakes.
see that. I would make a ton of mistakes.
So yeah, it's like this was our first week doing it too, so a lot of the players were not maybe used to it. So, something to factor into. They weren't as prepared and how to deal with it, I guess. The nerves and things
Right.
like that.
Tomorrow night, much more commonplace.
Oh yeah,
Everybody, easy peasy.
They know what to expect.
That's right.
Yeah, so Burn was our big loser of tonight, sadly. Unless you're a Burn player out there or thinking about building Burn, might have been good for you to look at the decks and get some ideas
Right.
on them.
Sure.
That could be a big one. We're also going to have, for next week, deck lists to show you guys. We'll have pictures of them. We're going to make people...
Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to say... Well, maybe we'll do it at the end of the night. Take pictures so their deck's not all messed up,
Yeah.
clumped up.
Sure.
Nah, we'll do it at the beginning. In order to play in the tournament, you now have to lay out all your cards, creatures, lands, instant sorceries for us. And then you can
It's for the stream.
It
It's
is.
not
It's
for
not-
us.
no, true.
It's not for us to get a little heads up
And-
because
and-
we're not going to show our decks.
No, we don't need to. We're not going to be on camera. No, so it'll be good. We're still deciding what decks we're going to play.
True.
Maybe I'll play Blue Green Tron and just join the Tron players
Wow.
and say, hey guys,
Okay.
don't forget I got this deck still.
Left field. This is where Nan comes from. He
What-
goes, I'm going to play Infect. No,
what-
Marty Pox. You know what? Blue-green Tron.
Black-white tokens. That's exactly...
There we go.
No, I don't know what I'm playing yet. I'll decide, like, half hour before the event starts. I'll just go, yeah, you know what?
You should look in his backpack. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So good list. Like, we got to see the 2 Affinity players.
Yep.
And we got to see our Abzan player play twice. A nice variety of decks. End boss still
up there.
Was still the winner for the evening. What decks are you looking forward to trying to see this coming week then?
I'm going to say I'd like to see an Infect deck, and we may potentially see one, depending on if we play, it's randomized, or I think there's someone else who's playing Infect now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we had a new player that was playing... he was playing with the budget mono-green version for a little bit, and now it's back to... Now it is blue-green.
Right.
And then we had like, a couple people trying out the black-green for a little bit. I don't know if they're still... Sometimes we have people just show up and play every so often, not as consistently. People talking about our milkshakes, because we always get Chick-fil-A before we go and play the tournament. And
we always show up like at least 5 minutes after 7.
It's like, hey, we're supposed to start at 7, and we're like, it's 7:10. We're here with milkshakes.
and actually, TJ brings up a good point, because I was actually going to ask you, blue, white, red control. I think, and I agree with him, is very well positioned right now. I think that there's a lot of call for just holding back and waiting. You want to play, and I'll say this now. I wish somebody would bring an Eldrazi deck just so we could see it.
See how it does.
And I think there is somebody who is building it or is almost done with it.
I did not know that.
So it's potential that...
It's got your favorite card?
Yes, it does. Path.
Got your
Exile.
favorite card. Path is really annoying. And the Jeskai list... I mean, Jeskai list, we think about it, like, it's got good removal in there. I mean, it's got Electrolyze.
It does.
So, bam, 1 damage. It factors into against Affinity. Factors in against Infect. That's pretty good. Bolt's in there.
Yep.
It's most of the field. Path, it's great against every list. I mean, what deck do you have that you're like, oh, okay,
I lost a creature.
Hexproof. All right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you're like, Path, I don't care.
Isn't there someone running Hexproof?
Are they back and playing again?
I don't know.
I was like,
I don't know.
every so often we might get a Hexproof player come in there. The Boggle player.
Yeah.
We actually do have Boggles.
Here we go.
We do. I'm not going to play it, but we do have it. Okay, there we go.
More Dismembers, less Chalices.
Ugh, gross. None of that is fun. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna play. So many choices.
I mean, you're getting a lot of heads up here right now. I mean, we've got blue, white, red control.
True.
Eldrazi maybe coming in. Mm-hmm. Does that factor in your decision at all?
No.
Mardu Pox is probably what you're going with.
Oh, I did make Julia pretty upset when I played Mardu Pox, because I got to resolve. I always forget the name of that card. It costs 5, and you exile everything from someone's graveyard and search their library and hand for all other copies of it. What's that card called? 2 black and 3 colorless.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, dang it. I can't remember.
Someone help us out.
You're going to make me, like, look.
You don't even have them up here.
I do. It's right here.
Oh, is it? But the thing is Nan'll play Mardu Pox, and he'll find a matchup that he's just secretly wanting to play. And last week, it was Tron. And did you? What was the final standing for that match?
Oh, I did end up losing.
Okay.
Haunting Echoes.
There it is.
Bam.
Haunting Echoes.
I did end up losing 1-2.
Okay.
But it's like he got a Karn out, and we just sort of like dicking around, letting him kind of exile all my stuff. Like I probably could have scooped and made the game 3 a little bit quicker and stuff like that, but just sort of let him get the Karn out. And I didn't get to see as much land destruction as I would have liked. And that's why TJ sent me a list of the kind of updated version of it that is no longer running. It's shaved down on tokens, so it's no longer running like Bitter Blossom and stuff. Still running Lingering, but not running. It's more like mid-rangey. It also runs the Ajani's.
Okay. Short. Yeah. Great card.
And it does not run Lilies, but I like Lily is so good that
Wow.
it's like I don't know. So I'm gonna probably do like a combination version that's like between the two because it did have some more land removal in there, which I liked. So we will see what I end up playing. But yeah, there was 2 Tron players last week. Probably, I don't know if there's gonna be board games and stuff. So
Could be.
Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be more coverage and more matches coming up for you guys. Not tonight, sadly, because that was our last round because we had some technical difficulties for one of the rounds. But
we may have 5 next time.
With how it's been going to like 5 rounds on Tuesdays.
I was going to say, it goes back to the Splinter Twin ban, where now everyone is like, I can play Modern now?
We did have, like, for a little while there, while Twin and Bloom were, like, rampant, we were like, sweet, we got 8 people.
Yeah. Sanctioned. All right.
Where now it's, like, 17 people.
Right.
Like, so we are having a lot more people at event.
Which is awesome.
Which is good. We get good practice in there. It just sucks being a Tuesday night that we have to play 5 rounds.
Oh, I gotta go to work the next day.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll try to do a mix-up of matches. At least for the first round, maybe we'll suggest, hey, whoever is playing
something maybe,
not Abzan, not Burn, and not
right.
Affinity, we want to try to at least get in round 1. And then from then on, we'll just continue to go. Who's ever winning their matches, we'll pick from that pool.
Because I like the fact that we can come out here and we can kind of show different decks and give different types, different views on these decks. Because not like just sitting here watching the Affinity players play, I'm like, okay, now I know, hey, hitting that Signal Pest right off the bat, that's what I need to do. If I can do that, let's get rid of it. Or always go for the Steel Overseer. That's stuff that I don't normally see because I'm a bad Magic player. But I just like Magic so much that I keep coming back. So you're welcome, Comic Kung Fu.
Yes.
But I like the fact that we see different decks and different matchups. So maybe try and randomize it as much as possible. I think by the end it was kind of like these are our top players, so let's put them.
Yeah, and I think that's fine too. Is starting out with random as much as possible, and then pick from those that have been winning their match. Like round 1 is going to be very random. Round 2 is going to be very random, and then we might see the same couple of decks in the next couple of rounds.
Sure.
Because, our pool's getting shorter as the decks are winning, people are dropping, and so on and so forth. Yes. There were some cool matches, though, that took place that we didn't get to show you guys last week. But there's going to be some good ones this week. There's always good games.
Always.
I know. It's Magic. But we'll try to get some. In fact, we'll see. Let us know if there's any decks that you want to try to see, too. And we'll see if we can make that happen. Whether it's some cards people have that we can see about having one person pilot it. I don't know. We'll make it work the best we can. But that's really it for tonight. Just a couple of reminders, guys. This is going to be a continual thing happening every Monday, at least for the time being. So Monday Night Modern that we're going to be doing at twitch.tv/TheRealNanMan. So hit the follow button here if you have not already to know when we go live, as well as other sort of Magic-related stuff and other streaming stuff that we're going to be doing on this channel. Check out us since we are doing the coverage. I'm right here below at The Real NanMan, and I'm not going to be able to farm of
Zurinar.
There you go.
It's a Batman reference. All my comic book readers, you know what it is.
See, I'm just bad at English. I can't pronounce things, so I'm just not even gonna try. Also, Comic Kung Fu is holding their event Sunday at 1 p.m. for kind of the pre-GP event. It's a team sealed event, so if you want to come out and get some team sealed practice for the GP and DC, you can. Or if there's not enough teams that show up and you just show up, you can get a little bit cheap on boosters.
Right.
So, and plus, they have awesome selection of Magic cards in their case and everything like that. So, it is located in Winchester. So if you're in the area and you're like, my shop's not doing any practice for the GP, but I am going to DC. See
Right.
about coming down for it because it's 1 p.m. on Sunday. Pretty easy to go to. Go on Facebook and search Comic Kung Fu, and you'll be able to find it. Any other shout outs or anything else you want to? Are you still doing the blog for
Yeah,
Magic?
totally am. Just haven't gotten around to it. Busy guy, busy with life and work, but definitely keep an eye out for that. I had a couple of ideas. I went to GP Charlotte in January,
Yeah.
which I kind of wanted to do a write-up on the kind of the experience itself, and the more I play, the more I see in Modern and Magic in general. And then I also did... What did I just do recently? Regionals. I wanted to do a write-up because as time goes on, your deck morphs to try and keep up with the meta. So I've kept lists together of what I've done. I ran red in my Infect deck for Teamer Battle Rage. That's a great card. But I've gotten rid of it now. I've realized that splashing a third color in Infect is just not what you want to do. So we'll see how it goes. I may play it tomorrow just to see. But other than that, just keep an eye out for us, and see you next Monday.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.